Cage Fighting Connoisseurs. This is KidNativeBloodyElbow.com, joined once again by the inevitable, ineluctable, cranky, and disreputable Eugene S. Robinson.
You were talking so fast, man. I thought you were like Joe Leisure for a second.
Or no, Joe Leisure?
Yeah, Joe Leisure's thing was he was I'm not lying. Who was the other guy who talked real fast? He had a good run there in commercials.
Nathan Thurm, the Martin Short character?
Nathan Thurm was great. It wasn't Nathan Thurm, but it was an actual guy who he was like a carnival barker or an auctioneer. Could talk really fast. Anyway, here we go. Great guy. Okay, kid Nate. Okay.
Yeah. All right, and we're here for the UFC Seoul Fight Night, UFC Fight Night 78, Care Don't Care preview. Disclaimer, Eugene.
Crybabies, bedwetters, greedy bread gobblers, work-shy individuals, fighters without attaché. Know that this show, you should not take it personally. You know, it's not about your skills and talent as a fighter. It's less about your skills and talent as a fighter and much more about the marketing heft and that the UFC puts behind you. So don't get angry with us. Fight a good fight. Move from the don't care to the care column, and we'll love you forever. And it's happened before. Paul Felder, Chris Collier Greaves, Alex Oliveira. Those are some of the three. Yeah. These are some of the three most recent ones. Be about it. Holly Holmes, big case of a don't care move into a care. You know, be about it. Crybabies,
indeed.
Bedwetters.
And this card is happening Saturday morning, 2 days after Thanksgiving. 6 a.m. Eastern time in the United States. It's happening in prime time.
Hot diggity dog. 6 a.m. Eastern time. That means 3 in the morning California time.
That's right. But it's on Fight Pass, so you can catch it when you want it.
Now I'm doing the fucking. I want a quadruple raise.
Well, yeah. Good luck with that. Good luck.
Me and Conor McGregor.
Yeah. He wants his $100 million. He's not a company man. He is the company. That's his new line.
Which he stole from Jay-Z, of course.
Well, you know, but that's a good place to steal from.
Yeah. Right. You got a guy, got a billionaire. I'm stealing from him too.
Yes, indeed. But he might be trying to steal from the wrong billionaire. However, he might want to focus on Lorenzo's Fertitta's pockets right now. He might be.
You know, on the one hand, it's completely defensible, this idea that you should get what you are worth. I love that idea. You know, every single musician in America sitting there going, yeah, file share it is, bitch. Get me what I'm worth. But the reality of it is very few of us do. So, you know, what you want is a happy medium. And
take what you get and get what you take.
Well, if he thinks that happy medium is 50 million, he needs to wake up and smell the Cafe Bustelo because they're not about 100. Forget about 100. Forget about 50. You know, we'll break you off 8.
Yeah, tops. That's if he wins a whole bunch of fights. Like,
oh my God,
he needs to really
wins a whole bunch of fights. And you know, Borgia Moore, if he doesn't make it past Aldo,
yeah. He overplayed his hand already, I think.
You will see him and Junie Browning opening at GNC's in South Bend, Indiana. Hey, you guys want an autograph? Hey, you guys.
I'd be afraid to ask
It takes a huge ego to do it in store, man. That was tough.
Indeed. It makes me think of Spinal Tap and the famous Paul Schaefer, Marty Bupkis or whatever. Yeah. Kick my butt.
Marty Fufkin,
that's right. Yes. Yeah. Genius part. Anyway, we're going to have a bunch of don't cares on this thing. I guarantee it. But let's dive right in. It's all on Fight Pass Saturday morning early American time, and there are 7 fights on the prelims and 4 fights on the main card, which basically means you just have to change streams in the middle of the card. That's all.
I don't know what you mean, but okay.
Yeah, that means if you click and you find the fights in the prelims, it's going to stop at a certain point, and you're going to have to click and find the main event later. That's what that means.
Main event where? Now you know what it's like coaching me.
Also on Fight Pass. You're gonna have to find the prelims on Fight Pass, watch those. When they're over, go back to Fight Pass, find the main event, main card.
All on Fight Pass.
All on Fight Pass.
Good. All right. So I don't have to leave the house or put clothes on. I got it.
No, and you can watch it later. It'll be on Fight Pass all day.
I'm one of those guys, man. I want it fresh out the pipe. I'm getting up at 3 a.m.
This is the kind of stuff that. I look forward to the knuckle up after that. But anyway, let's dive right on in. We've got a late substitute opening the Fight Pass prelims. Welterweight Dominique Steele was supposed to fight Ace Lim, aka Hun Q Lim, but now he's fighting Dong-Hyun Kim, not to be confused with Stun Gun Kim, who has the exact same name, but a different guy named Dong-Hyun Kim, whose nickname I don't know yet. Are you tickled? Are you caring?
I don't care so much that I didn't even hear what you said. It was like Charlie Brown's teacher the whole way.
I didn't even say
it. Well, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. The only thing I care about is the novelty of having two guys with the exact same name on the same card, but that's the extent of my caring. So that's a don't care. And so we've got bantamweights Ning Gwen versus Marco Beltran.
I don't care.
Me neither. All right, flyweight Yao Zhuqi versus.
And keep in mind that I'm especially sensitive and tuned because of this shit fest I had to endure this past weekend. Okay, maybe without this shit fest, I'm a little bit more gracious. Like, oh yeah, Beltran, yeah, but no.
Yeah,
this is and Luke Thomas
shit fest.
Well, yeah, Luke. That's right. Luke Thomas called him out for that. I was like, man, somebody had to say it. You know, this is. I'm thinking a little bit of the fights. I went, why? 3.5 hours later, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, and the fights, 8 straight decisions. Oh my god,
punishing.
Yes.
Punishing.
Yes. The main event wasn't too bad. It had some drama. It had momentum swings, but it wasn't great. And after all those other crappy fights, it was just awful.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got 2 don't cares in a row. Now we've got Yao Zhuqi versus Freedy Serrano at flyweight.
Do not give a fuck. I'm running the table, man. I'm digging down deep on this one.
Yeah, so if you're thinking about getting up at 3 a.m. for this, here's what you're looking forward to. All right, women's strawweight, Seo Hee Ham versus Courtney Casey.
I don't care. And the bald one's words echoing in my head. This fight's not for you. I got it. All right. I don't care.
Yep, I'm with you there. I don't care either, although I'm kind of fascinated by the name Seo Hee Ham. Anyway, middleweight, Dong-Yi Yang versus Jake Collier.
Ooh, no, don't care.
No, I don't either. Dong-Yi Yang, actually, remember, and he's deeply boring.
Yep.
So that's, and I'm a mark for the Asian fighters. Don't care for Dong-Yi Yang. All right, lightweight, Tai Hyung Bang versus Leo Kuntz.
See, the thing is, you can't sleaze your way into care. You know, you can't really. The only reason we remember Leo Kuntz is because his name is Leo Kuntz. And we've talked about him before because his name is Leo Kuntz. We don't have a single glimmer of an idea what he can do inside the cage outside of providing us with a handy-dandy punchline and a launch pad for huge erection and bend over and the whole, panoply of names that suggest other things.
Remember when the Butthole Surfers did a whole song called Cunts that was just a sample of some Bollywood soundtrack?
Oh yeah, I don't remember that, but yeah.
Oh, it's on their best album, Locust Abortion Technician, and they play some Bollywood
I would say
song.
their best album is Brown Reason to Live. But that
was an EP for one thing, and it was a fine piece of work, but I think they improved after that. I think Locust Abortion Technician had Sweat Love.
I was out by PCP Pep.
Too cool for school, Eugene. You missed the boat on the buttholes. Did you ever see him in the late 80s?
I did. I saw them once.
When the full thing with the
naked dancers and he set himself aflame and then the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the projectors and it was an awesome show.
Those guys always been nice to me.
Really? You must not have done
and Gibby saw me at my most asshole-ish at one point. Sometimes you pull into town and the only reality that you have is a band reality. You're fighting like cats and dogs. It's like, man, I guess I came out poorly in the argument. But even though I was probably an A number one prick, he's always been nice to me. And King Coffee, Jeff, capital guy, always nice to me. Got nothing bad to say about those guys, despite the old touch and go embroyo.
Yeah, well, a lot of people who've done business with him don't like him so much. But,
Guy's got his degree in accounting, man. Don't fuck with it.
So does Paul Leary. They both do, and they're both Sharpies. Texas Wildcatters. But King Coffee, very nice guy, in my experience. Recently hit by a car, actually, carrying his drums to a gig. And hopefully he's recovered nicely. Yeah. So Yeah, so we don't care about Leo Kuntz, but I do kind of like Tai Hyung Bang. So, but not enough to give it a care. So,
All right.
but just I'm keeping an eye on that one. Featherweight, Hui Chul Nam versus Mike De La Torre.
Do not give a fuck. I'm sorry, Mike.
I know it's like
it's not. I'm not saying I don't give a fuck because I don't know who you are. I do know who you are, but I just don't care.
Yeah, it's sad. But the last time I watched one of these Asian cards, I was like, I'm not going to bother to watch the next one. But this one I think I'll watch, but only the main card maybe. All right, so now we're in the main card country. 12 minutes in, we've already raced through 7 fights. So featherweight, Do Ho Choi versus Sam Sicilia.
I care.
Yes, because Sam Sicilia we've confused with some other guy repeatedly.
Yeah, the same guy from the same season of the same show. Only because the guy that he looks like, I was hanging out with this woman who was hanging out with that guy and told me that guy was taking his virginity vow seriously and his religion thing, and he wouldn't have sex with her. And at that point, that crazy point in my life, where you just like, let me get this straight.
That one crazy point in your life?
Yes.
That one time. Okay.
Let me get this straight. He won't have sex with you, huh? That's terrible. So you haven't been having sex. Yeah. Well.
Well, what a noble gent saw a lady in distress. White knight to the rescue.
I tell you about that friend of mine. Well, I've mentioned him before. Who, when getting ready for his weekend plans, would get on Craigslist like Wednesday or Thursday, and he would type in one search word.
And this word was?
Help.
Help.
I need help moving. Help. I need a place to stay. Help. Help. And he was responding to all, and he got really out in the weeds where he found help, looking to start an Italian foods cooking appreciation group. And he was on it like crazy. Like, I'm Italian and you need help.
What a selfless citizen.
Second communication in, he's sending naked photos.
How'd that work?
It didn't really work.
Let's see. But it seems like a hobby that maybe kept him off the streets. Well, not really. Anyway. Well, that's an inspiring tale. So
he was like the guy in Catch-22 who was always trying to get naked pictures of the whores and never could quite pull it together. It's like he had this scam. I'm taking photos for a national publication. I'd like to hold auditions at a coffee shop. He'd show up, he would have no camera.
Big flaw in the plan. But he would get people to show up for that?
Yeah, oh yeah. This is in the days before people on Craigslist started murdering each other.
I see. Now some police forces offer safe spaces where people can meet to conduct their Craigslist trades.
Oh.
I think that's
I'm sure that's exactly what he needs. A safe space in the police station where he can have his penis out. That'd be great. This is what I'm selling, officer. What don't you get?
It's illegal to sell, but it's more than fine to give it away.
Yeah, that's right.
Unless people press charges.
that's true too.
Yes.
Anyway, okay, so we're in the main card.
Yeah, so did we care about Sam Sicilia?
Yes, I care.
Okay, all right. I care. Do you have a pick?
Yeah, I'm going to have to pick Sam.
Yeah, me too.
Against my better judgment. Because I say this because he's so far into the card that, there's some gimmies that they want to give to the hometown crowd, but they're so far into the card that at this point, win or lose doesn't make a difference. The audience in attendance will have had their appetite sated by a few well-placed victories. So
yeah, there's a good chance of that. I'll just make it interesting. I'll go with the Dooho.
There you go.
Yeah, whatever. All right, now we're to somebody everybody cares about. Welterweight, Alberto Mina versus Yoshihiro Akiyama, a.k.a. Sexy Yama.
Yep.
Now we care. Guy's only fought like 3 times in the last 4 years, and he went on a 4-fight losing streak right at the beginning of his UFC tenure. But I still love him. He's very exciting. Bad guy, a much hated character in Japan, but I liked all that.
Yeah, well, whatever. They hate Godzilla too, man.
Yeah, I mean, just because he greased against Sakuraba.
Well, that could happen to anybody. You know,
I know, and then get caught up.
He had a skin condition. You know,
It was a lot of chafing, and that can be very painful. So we like Akiyama, and that's why we care. Do we have a pick?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sexyama.
Yeah, me too. I don't know who this Alberto Mino guy is, but hopefully they did their job right and found a gimme for
Alberto
Sexyama.
Mino.
Huh? You've heard of him?
He's a Palomino.
A Palomino. And your cat's howling and you're eating on the show. So we got that out of the way. Where's the Nazi reference?
Not yet. Come on, man.
17 minutes in, no Nazi reference.
On my Nazi reference, and it was coming.
I mean, I'm not trying to force anything. I'm just checking in. But this Alberto Soldier of God Mina cat is undefeated, and he's 1-0 in the UFC. So Sexyama might be in trouble. That's all I'm saying. All right, so now we come to the co-main event. Welterweight Dong-Hyun Kim, a.k.a. Stun Gun Kim, against Dominique Waters. So one Dong-Hyun Kim is fighting Dominique Steele, and the other one is fighting Dominic Waters.
Interesting. I care. And mostly I care now because this has a sub-drama that some of you haven't even thought about, I'm sure. And the locus point of which is right here in San Jose, California, against a Mr. Kung Lee, who still, as far as I know, still has this lawsuit going against the UFC and Zuffa.
Over the drug testing.
Now, this is why he was brought in, to anchor events precisely like this. So I think that the sub-story here, or whatever the buy numbers are in this, it'll either be a feather in Mr. Lee's hat or a black eye.
Another Catch-22 reference, but connect the dots. I'm failing to see how any of this.
If the numbers are shitty, you know, Kung Lee can sit back and say, you know what, my numbers were never that shitty. It's funny how my numbers were never that shitty.
I see. The numbers are great. They're like,
and if the numbers are great, then the bald one goes, yeah, Kung Hu.
But what relevance does a Vietnamese American fighter have to a Korean card? I mean, I don't think the Korean fans.
When they had him fight in China before, what relevance? Come on, man.
Well, you know, he at least has a Chinese fighting style with the Shin Shao or whatever it is.
And you know, realistically speaking, you know, what do we see in the Magny Gastelum fight? There was a case early on in the card with two Brazilian cats fighting each other, and you can tell a difference when countrymen fight. We are, what was a JFA record, blatant localism. You know, it's just Brazilians fight each other in a very different way. I mean, they can hear each other's corners, you know, it's just a different deal entirely, you know.
You sure it wasn't two Mexican fighters that were fighting each other and not Brazilian?
No, for sure not. For sure not.
I didn't realize. I'm trying to remember. I blocked out so much of that card because it was painfully bad. It
was pretty bad. You know how bad it was? I tell you, I couldn't get any other human being to watch it with me. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, I couldn't even get the guys I was paying to watch it.
You got me to watch it.
Well, you know,
I'm the only dummy. I'm like sitting in the pumpkin patch waiting for the great pumpkin. I'm me and Linus.
He's coming, Linus. Like, and you got Sally right there. She's making your lunch.
That's right.
That's how I said that. That would. Yeah.
She'll kill you.
Yeah, I'm looking for this alleged all-Brazilian fight card. You know, Wikipedia took the little flags next to the guys' names away, and I'm still bitter about that because I think you're wrong about that, but I can't prove it. So,
you know what? You don't know how many times I've heard that.
I'm sure. I'm sure. All right. So do you have a pick?
Like I was being questioned once by a cop. He goes, "I'm gonna find out what you're doing here."
Was this the guy you told you were Abraham Lincoln?
No. That's somebody else. And I marshal all my years of acting talent. And I lean back in my chair. I look at him in the eyes and smile. I go, "What could I possibly be doing here?" And he goes, "That's it." This is when I was being deported from Canada as an undesirable alien.
I see. And that was the last straw? That's what got you booted?
Yeah, that got me booted. And I tell you, you've never lived until they walk you through an airport in handcuffs.
So can you go back to Canada?
Yeah, and every time I do, it's a complete pain in the ass.
Why were you kicked out of Canada in the first place?
I don't want to talk about it.
I see. All right. Guilty, guilty, guilty. As they say. Did this have to do with your federal guns license? Federal firearms?
No, nothing of the sort.
I see.
I was helping a friend out.
Helping a friend out. I see. Is this the same friend that so frequently appears in your tales?
No. Different guy. I didn't know this guy there.
All right. Well, good.
This friend was named T-Bone.
P-Bone. T-Bone.
As in steak.
I see. You can always trust a guy who's named after a prime cut of meat.
He's in Texas now.
Is he?
And born-again Christian.
Well, those two things go together like syrup and pancakes. Yeah.
Those things go together like ram-a-lam-a ding-dong. Sorry.
Who put the bump? All right. So this Dominique Waters cat has lost his last fight. Stun Gun is actually got a pretty good streak going, but he's fighting Dominique Shownuff Waters.
Yeah, I'm picking Stun Gun, man. I'm not fucking around.
Oh yeah, me too. He's got a 5-1 streak going. He lost to Tyrone Woodley though, and let's not forget Stun Gun fights crazy now. The old Stun Gun that used to grapple and uses judo and wrestling is gone, and now he thinks he's a crazy man. Yep. So, I went to a Dutch party once. Boy,
I don't know if I'm ready for this.
Yeah, it was crazy night. Get crazy night, and my Dutch relatives let me know that meant they gave us little bits of flair to put on our tuxedos. That was crazy.
That was crazy?
Yeah, they're like, don't actually get crazy. Don't get anywhere near crazy.
We will fucking wrestle you to the floor.
Yeah, the Dutch aren't ready for crazy. They want a little bit of flair on your tuxedo, and that's as crazy as you're allowed to get. So,
I'll tell you the first orgy I went to, right? So I show up.
All right. It's hard to believe there was a first, but I guess
there's got to be a first, right? So, and everybody's shy. And they're sitting around clothed, and I didn't get there early. I mean, it was at 9 o'clock, so I get there at 9:03. People were there.
Punctual.
People are there, and I get in the door, and I'm like, you know what? I just don't have the time for this. And I fucking immediately disrobe. I'm like, yeah, here we go.
Did that start the party?
Well, but I just wanted to send a message that let's not act like we don't know why we're here. We're not.
So did you go over to the appetizers naked and?
Yeah, sure. Because I came for the appetizers.
Because that's always disturbed me. I've never been to an orgy myself, but I've seen some documentaries, and seeing the naked swingers gathered around the appetizer table.
Hey man, if you're eating a piece of cheese and a chip, and then there's a piece of broccoli at the table, what do you care? There's the people there with bowls of fruit. That's not what I came for. I can get bowls of fruit anywhere.
Well, that's true, but you can get naked people anywhere too.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, they're all over
when
the place.
You're 18?
Their clothes.
No, when you're 18.
Was this a Studio 54?
Nah, that's with Stanford University.
Stanford University, one of those decadent West Coast Ivy League orgies I've heard about. Let's see. We didn't have that kind of thing at the University of Texas.
Oh, yes, you did.
I just wasn't invited. So, anyway, so everybody's picking Stun Gun. That's the takeaway.
Good. All right, so the odds favor him. All right.
All right. So now we've got welterweights Benson Henderson against George Gamebred Masvidal.
Fuck yeah.
Now this is a fight I care about, although it's not a fight of any significance really. They're both fighting at welterweight. They were both Benson Henderson, the former lightweight champ.
Why do you keep saying like Vincent? It's Benson.
Benson. How am I saying it? Vincent?
You said Benson.
It is Benson.
Benson.
Benson Henderson.
You just said Ben. Like gentle Ben, not gentle Ben.
Oh, that's because I can't say.
I ain't been there.
I can't say pen either without a great deal of effort. I say pen. Give me that pen to write with because I'm from Texas.
Right, so now this is our thing though. This is our thing between us. Like if you get kidnapped and you got one call to make and you call me and you say you're acting strange and you say, hey Eugene, how's Ben Henderson? That'll be the signal that you were being held at gunpoint. Because I'll know under normal circumstances, you'll say Ben.
I see. But you see, I can't make that distinction This is putting me in a horrible position.
But
where
you're in
my
trouble
life-
if you get kidnapped.
Yeah.
I guess you're in trouble if you're kidnapped and I'm your first call. You're also in trouble because of that.
That's probably not going to happen anyway. But yeah, okay. Well, I'll keep that in mind, and I'll struggle to be able to say Benson. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Benson. All right. So we've got Benson Henderson against George Masvidal.
I got to go with Masvidal. He's a friend of Knuckle Up. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, Ben took a picture with me at the IBJJF, and he was just there this past one a couple of weeks ago. I like how he holds it down for the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community, but I got to go with the friends of Knuckle Up.
Did you pray with him?
No, I did not.
No? Let's see.
No one has succeeded in getting me to pray outside of no, you know. I think religion is like socks, you know. You might like your socks, you might have an emotional connection to your socks, but I don't care about your socks.
Even if they're gold toe premium brand?
I don't care. I care about my socks.
Do you wear
I don't tell you about my socks. Huh?
Do you wear gold toe?
I have one pair around here somewhere.
Yeah, those are fine socks, I believe.
I don't know where they came from. You know, there used to be these clothes that appeared in my house. I don't know where they came from.
Huh. Craziness. I think I got mine at some fancy store I can't remember the name of now because I don't have to buy fancy clothes anymore. How about if you were at an orgy and the chicks were really hot, but they wanted you to pray at the beginning?
Well, come on. You know what? I mean, if you're in a position like that, you just got to go with the flow.
That's what I thought. Just
if I'm praying and I'm naked, it's either very good or very bad. So, and if there's nobody there with a gun and I'm naked, then it's probably pretty good. So whatever. Okay, well, let us. I'll tell you about the guy who was lured upstairs to the hotel room by Ann and Nancy Wilson from Heart. And he was like, yeah, and this is back in the 70s. He's like,
they were
yeah,
lovely.
Be great. And he gets up into the room and her mother opens the door. He goes, oh, freaking scene. And then he sees the father sitting there and he goes, oh, you're just in time. Come on, we're about to pray.
That's cruel and unusual. You know, my whole dating strategy in high school was going to church with girls. Have I run through this tactic before?
Did that work?
Dude, get this. Okay. You don't have to have a car because they'll pick you up and drive you home. So for me, in my green Honda station wagon, that was a big plus. The girl is always dressed to the nines, always feels really pretty, which is important. The preacher would inevitably be spewing fire and brimstone, which gets everybody riled up. You go home, parents buy you lunch, usually at the best place in town. Afterwards, dad's out mowing the lawn or sleeping in front of the football game. Mom's shopping. No supervision. It's like, it was awesome.
I'm not buying that, not for a fucking second.
What
But
do you
whatever.
mean?
You live within I'll leave you alone to your fantasies.
I've lived it, son. This is Borger, Texas in the 80s. This was as good as it got for me.
All right, you're right. You know, a buddy of mine was sitting around, the guy who I've mentioned before. He's like, man, I really need sex. Man, I could really, ding dong. Who could that be? Goes to the door, and it's a cop and his wife. A cop and his wife and his 26-year-old daughter who's been in and out of rehab.
Uh-oh.
And he says, I'm not going to give the guy's name, says, you know, you're the only one
who says
really...
Gene.
Call him Steve. We're the only one you really trust. She likes you. She gets along with you. She can't stay at our house because, you know, she's always stealing stuff, and she feels comfortable here. Do you mind terribly, Steve, if she stays here for a few days? Was this
an ex of his, or?
No, he was a friend.
A friend of hers.
Yes, and when she was in a mental institution, he would bring her 7 or sometimes 8 M&Ms and a partially eaten sandwich in exchange for sexual contact in the broom closet.
What a gent.
So naturally, when the parents show up with the fresh, he was like, I get. And he goes, yeah, oh, sure, I'll take care of her. And they leave. And I go, how long did it take after they left?
Before he was scoring the drugs.
I don't know, before they were having sex. He goes, 23 seconds.
Wow. How long did she stay there?
You see why I have no friends.
I see. How long did she stay there?
Oh, she stayed there a few days, and they had to put her out because she was stealing stuff.
I see. What a tale, the human condition. I'm telling you, kid.
She was stealing stuff and then coming back strangely sleepy.
Yep. Tigers don't change their stripes. That's the thing. Where were we? Oh, Benson Henderson and George Masvidal. So you're picking Masvidal.
We cared, and I'm picking Masvidal.
But do you have any reasons beyond he's a pal?
I fucking love that guy. He's a killer.
Again,
he fought with his hand broken.
He's going to win, not why you want him to win.
Guy's good. He's good and strong standing. I mean, his only problem is that Nick Diaz problem, where it seems like he's actively engaged in disregarding the clock. You know, there's some guys. This is an underappreciated seventh sense in the cage, and that's sorry. God damn it. All right. That is clock awareness. And some guys have it, and then some guys. I mean, with Nick Diaz, I would blame it on the fact that he had been fighting in Japan, and just the clocks were a little bit different. But I don't want to see a guy fucking be down and around, look up at 33 seconds, and then get a frantic flurry. Man, what, you didn't know this was coming? I can give you a 5-6 minute count because how often I'm taking jiu-jitsu. I don't need a clock anymore. I can tell you right where we are to within 5 seconds anytime in a 6 minute round.
At what point in the match do you turn on the EJJ?
Well, I turn on the EJJ under special circumstances. I turn it on if a guy tries something.
I see.
I also turn it on if a guy gets tough with me.
I see.
And I turn it on right after I get out of a difficult situation to make him pay.
I see. So it doesn't have to do with the clock. It has to do with the circumstances of the bout.
Correct. Oh, yeah. I mean, because I'm thinking about points before then. I back my way off of thinking about submissions. If a guy throws a submission at me, I will take it. But otherwise, in general, I'm thinking about my technique. This is why I refuse to get a stripe. Sorrell wanted to give me a stripe and said, you could take that stripe and shove it up your ass. I don't need it. I more need this stuff in here.
I see. Bold words for while you're not in the Sorrell Academy.
I go, I'm not 12 years old, man. Keep your stripe.
Tough talk.
Yep.
We'll see if you ever get another belt promotion.
Oh, he's told me I will never. So
well, there you go.
He goes, I'll tell you what, like that guy from Fast and Furious, if you die, I'll give you a belt.
That is touching. So
and people got angry when Barker got his belt, and then people had to explain, no. The dude was a brown belt, man, a 3-year brown belt. Like maybe he would have gotten it anyway, And it's not like he's going to be showing up at tournaments. No. Weekend at Bernie's, Paul style.
So is he going to give you two? Is he going to double bump you all the way up to black belt? I think he should.
If I'm dead?
Yeah.
No, knowing him, no.
I think you should run some scenarios past him. What if you die heroically saving some pets from a fire? No. What if you die heroically saving some children from a crazed shooter with your concealed carry?
He would say, never fuck gonna happen.
I see. Well, I guess, you got right on to my concern with this fight. Masvidal, notorious for taking his foot off the pedal. Like the last fight he lost, he was winning handily and then coasted through the second half of the second round and the third round. Lost.
They had a clock sense.
Yes, and Ben Henderson, his biggest gift is no selling punches when people hurt him. And he can make for some extremely tedious fights as well, although he's got the knack of getting decisions in his favor in bullshit fights. I can see these guys having a staring contest, South Korean style.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my concern. I got to pick Benson Henderson though, because he knows how to sell the judges, and he's the Korean guy on the card. He's half Korean.
I got news for you. Yes, that works. That works. Walking down the street, it doesn't work. But yeah, as part of the pre-package, it works. Believe me.
Yeah, when everybody's been told, hey, this is the Korean guy, and the other guy's not.
Like somebody was booing Josh Thompson in San Jose once, and Josh Thompson got up in the cage, he grabbed the mic and said, yeah, I hear all the boos, but what you don't know is that my mother's maiden name is Sanchez or whatever. I don't remember what it was. and people were like, "Oh shit, on blast!" San Jose's heavy Latino community now knows Josh Thompson's half Latino.
So there you go. Yep. So yeah. So I just think Ben's got the knack for selling to the judges, and Masvidal does not.
Yep.
I think Masvidal might be the tougher individual.
He's a tough guy.
I think they're both
backyard fighter. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Love this guy.
I think they're both equally skilled. Maybe they're both very, very skilled.
I'd like people to also take note of the fact that look at where Ben Henderson had been. Look at where he is now.
Yes.
This is a motherfucking unforgiving game.
Well, he's headlining the Seoul card. I mean, that's got to be kind of fun. You get to go back to Korea, and he's got Korean relatives, and like.
I wonder if he speaks Korean. Do we know this?
I don't know that. I don't know this. I would be very curious to find out. But headlining a 5-pass card is way down the ladder for being a UFC lightweight champion.
Well, it's not even so much where you are down that ladder. It's what you see on that ladder when you look up, And if I'm Ben Henderson, I look up and I see a bunch of broken rungs, nails sticking out.
He's given up on climbing the ladder. He's a money weight fighter. He's just there to make some paydays and put on some shows, which is totally admirable. And Masvidal, I think, is in the same boat. He lost last time he had a shot at a contention. He lost, and
I think he's a bit older. He's got a wife and a kid. So
yeah, he lost that split decision to Ally Quinta. That's the one where he just gave it away. Had him beat handily, and then coasted. And then
that I couldn't figure out. He was doing. Don't try to do any math, man. It's good. It's good for the long run, but please don't. Just don't.
Yeah, not in the cage. Not the time. Not the time to be trying to get analytical and cute.
Especially when people know you. Like, I know you. I know what you do. No, they're looking for you.
Yeah, and Iaquinta just went out there whiffing and swinging wildly and missing and.
I love Iaquinta, man. I love that guy.
I do too. He's fun and he hits real hard.
I love all those guys from Matty Serras because they're like, there was a famous, semi-famous fighter from Northern California who went to train back at Renzo's place, and when the Serra showed up, did I tell you this story?
I don't believe so. But
and Matty and his brother and the dad were there. And, I guess maybe the dad had sweatpants on and was walking around on the mat. And at some point during the roll, the guy, this semi-famous fighter, says, "Come on." He starts goading the old man, Hey, come on. Maybe they drop a couple of F-bombs on him, and I'm talking about the not the F-bomb, the gender F. The
slur,
the homophobic slur,
yes.
And he's just laughing it up, California style. He's laughing up because he doesn't know that he's back in New York, And at some point, Renzo has to call him over and say, "Hey, man, could you come here for a second?" And he said, "Yeah, sure. What's up, bro?" He said, "You gotta go." What do you mean? You gotta go? He said, "Maddie's dad's outside with a baseball bat." And what are you kidding? And Renzo looks at him like what do you mean? Am I kidding? So you better take the other fucking exit, And now when I asked the dude about that, he goes, "Oh, it didn't happen like that." Exactly. I'm like, it happened like that. So he got home safely. But
I see. Did you see?
And Maddie and his brother were there too. They were going to back up Pop.
Well, what else can you do?
Yeah.
I mean, did you see where Giovanni Gambino threatened ISIS? He said if there's any terrorist attacks in New York, that the Gambino family will be.
Well, but that's that's sort of a given. Why do you think there have been no terrorist attacks in Las Vegas?
Because nobody cares.
Come on! It's the World Trade Center is not as much of a reach as this Sin City.
Well, it's multiple flight hops to get into Vegas for one thing. It's like.
Well, the reality of it is, though, birds of a feather, man. Bad guys will, when you step into the bad guy arena, you have I just wrote a piece on the Albanian mafia, and
some bad characters.
You can't even keep it straight. Kosovar Albanian, Macedonian Albanian, Muslim Albanian. You don't know. You just can't. They're doing super well now because you just can't. You can't make sense of it, man. Sicilian mafia is pretty easy. Where are you from? Sicily. Oh, where? Catania, Alcamo, Siragusa. Okay, we're done. But this Albanian thing, it's like John McLaughlin from the CIA at Ozzy. He was like, "Oh, you wanna help Assad? Do you know there are 5 civil wars waiting to break loose in Syria?" And it's now, now maybe people will start maybe Obama, maybe he's got something going. The fucking Turks drop of Russia. And Vladimir is like, what? And Erdogan is like, what? There's just different ways of understanding the world, man. You got to be careful, especially of Albanians.
Yes, yes, the Albanian. A lot of human traffickers out of Albania.
Oh, merciless. I mean, not even like shit like, it's like looking down your clipboard and being at the mall and go, could you grab her, please? Put her in the back. I mean, just merciless. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah. So scary people, but
they shot 2 waiters in a restaurant in New York because they didn't like the service. That's a tough fucking crowd, man. I mean, we saw that shit in when Spider in Goodfellas, but it happened because the guy disrespected him. I mean, not because he brought his fucking latte a little late,
That's extremely frightening. Remind me not to be waiting on tables on Albanian mobsters. And
my favorite thing is go to Google and type in Albanian mobsters, and you look at these guys and you wouldn't give it a second thought,
Like they're not scary.
Not at all. Completely insane.
I'm doing it. So far, I'm seeing a lot of dead eyes here. These guys all look extremely scary. They're thick-necked, dead-eyed.
Maybe it's a touch of autism I have that I can't read. I can't read emotional responses on the faces of others.
I see. Because I'm seeing, just at a scan, a lot of sociopaths here.
Well, see, I queued it up for you, but otherwise, you're in a bar, you look over. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You don't see any Luca Brazzis there, do you?
This one guy that's the third from the right is pretty thick-necked.
Yeah.
Not huge. It's not like the people I see in Long Island when I visit my wife's grandparents and we go out to dinner at the Greek restaurant. There's always some guy who looks like Jack Kirby drew him. The thick neck, the pinky ring, the giant heap of hair that looks like Eugene Levy.
Yeah. What about that time when I was doing the mafia thing on Staten Island, and we go, hey, let's go by Paul Castellano's old house. There's a guy who lives there now who's an Albanian.
Oh.
I go, what does he do to afford a house like that? He's a very successful plumber.
I see. I thought you were going to say he was in the import-export.
And so we pull up in front of the house, and the camera guy is like, well, I don't know. It looks kind of sketchy. I go, you get out there. What kind of journalist are you? You got to let him tell you the public has a right to know. Now you get out there and you set up that tripod. You film whatever you want, man. Don't let him push you around, and I'll be over here watching the car.
Fearless.
Inside the car. I'll be watching from inside. I'll have the engine running. If there's any trouble, I'll be right there after I go around the block a couple times.
Very touching.
So he sets up the camera, starts fucking filming, and it's like, literally like 3 minutes. There's fucking Albanian guys. What do you do? And he's like, oh, I'm making a documentary about famous houses. Pack up and get the fuck out. It was really fast, man.
You're lucky it wasn't like the time the guy tried to sell Roy DeMeo a subscription to Grit or whatever it was, and DeMeo shot him down, chased him through the streets of Massapequa and gunned him down.
I guess you didn't like Grit, huh?
Who does? That's the thing. Like,
I've never actually seen a copy of Grit. I guess the guy must have been about 13 years old, though.
He was old enough to have a car because he jumped in this car and ran for it. 15, 16, I think.
Did he get shot?
Oh, yeah. They gunned him down. This was one of the things they believe that got Roy DeMeo put to sleep because people were like,
Yeah, bad
It
guy.
wasn't rational decision making, and it might not have been grit. It's been a while since I read Murder Machine, but it was some kind of bullshit like that. Anyway, we're through the whole show, Eugene, and I'm the only one who's brought up Nazis.
Well, hold on. What's the headliner? Who's the headliner?
That was the headliner, dude. Benson Henderson
man.
versus George Masvidal.
Yeah, I'm not getting up at 3 a.m. for this, buddy. Yeah, no.
Hey, the main card will start at 6 a.m. your time. So
no, the Nazi thing was the man from the Philip K. Dick story that Amazon is making it to a movie, and then now they got on the subways in New York with the Statue of Liberty sig heiling, and everybody's upset.
Yep. They decorated some subway cars for some viral marketing or whatever with the Nazi.
In New York City, and imagine people were upset in New York City.
A lot of publicity for their show, though. So was it a success?
We'll see. I mean, is it a good show? I don't know.
I don't know. I saw on Twitter some people saying.
What is it called? Man in the High Tower?
Man in the High Castle.
The High Castle, yeah. No, I haven't read it actually. Yeah. I was more of a Robert Heinlein guy.
I see. Fascist, huh?
Because I'm and older, you know.
Philip K. Dick's not that much younger than Heinlein. I mean, it's like 10 years newer, I think.
Yeah. By that time, I'd already moved on to like other shit like Knut Hamsun and so on. John Fonte.
I see. Philip K. Dick, I've enjoyed some Philip K. Dick. Man in the High Castle, not one of my favorites, but it's pretty good. Something Flow My Tears, the policeman said, is my favorite Philip K.
Some science fiction writer who I will not name here ended up being Eskimo Brothers with me. He actually seriously contemplated fighting me at some point, and then changed his mind.
Read your resume and changed his mind?
Yeah, then he was like, he's a pretty big guy, but he's actually sort of a famous known name. He was like, yeah, I guess I'm not going to be beating Eugene up. I was like, somehow we could be friends.
I see.
To fight over this.
Oh, no. Because you were going to fight over a girl? Is that?
I think that she had informed him that she was spending time with me, and he was like, well, you know.
I see. Well, people do fight over sex. That's one of the sex and money. Basically, the two things people fight over. Anyway, that's our show. Anything else to add, Eugene?
I'm done.
I'm done too. So give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Subscribe to MMANation.com on YouTube. That's how it's done. Follow us on Twitter at Eugene S. Robinson, at KidNate. Read me on BloodyElbow.com. Read Eugene at Aussie.com. Sometimes Vice's Fightland. Also, the book, Fight.
Or sometimes Vice. You never know.
No. Now you're not even giving me the chance to say the subtitle of your book. So I was going to nail it, though. But you're just going to
Go ahead, quick.
Fight. Everything you ever want to know about ass kicking, but we're afraid you get your ass kicked for asking.
Oh, you're just showing off now.
I am just showing off.
Which we have autograph for sale. But don't try to game the system by telling me you lost the book.
I see. You got to pay.
Yeah.
Got to pay money.
I sent one out to guy in Rhode Island, and his post guy stole it. I'm pretty sure.
He's double.
We send the book because if I have to start sending everything out first class insured, then the public's got to pay.
Yes, always. Anyway, that's our show. Zane and Connor will be back tomorrow with
Zane.
There you go. And Dallas isn't on the show.
Dallas. Let me tell you about that guy.
All right. So Dallas won't be on the Vivid section, but Zane and Connor will have it nailed down. And
Dallas is too busy, I guess.
He's got Thanksgiving family obligations. So it's true. And so do I. And that's why we're going to have two completely untested, wet behind the ears kids doing the 6th round Saturday afternoon. Mikey Hutch and Nick Baldwin are going to be hosting 6th round. So
hey, can I call into that show?
Have at it, Eugene. Have at it.
How do I do that?
Well, I could send you the link to the YouTube show as well, and you could just pop on.
Oh, that'd be great. I'd like to do that.
All right.
Don't tell them I'm going to do it either.
But they could be watching the show. So anyway, stay tuned for that, and then Eugene will have Knuckle Up on Sunday, right?
Why Sunday, Jack? I want to relax a bit.
Well, you can have it on Monday, whichever. It's totally your schedule. So
okay, yeah, right. If it's 3 o'clock in the morning, Saturday, it could be Sunday, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, and then we'll be back. We're gearing up for UFC 194, but I think there's a couple more events before we get there. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The next one is UFC Fight Night Namajunas versus Paige Van Zandt, Rose Namajunas. That will be on December 10th.
Yeah, we could talk about that. They're creeping me out with the marketing of this.
Yeah. You're so sexist and uptight. You don't. Girl's got to use what she's got to get what she wants.
I don't want to hear that.
Yeah. Well, we'll visit that when the time comes. But that's 2 days before UFC 194, so I don't even know if we'll get there. They're doing another one of these stupid things where then they have the Ultimate Fighter finale on the 11th, and then 194. So they're literally having UFC's 3 days in a row in late December, in mid-December.
I love her name, though. I have to say, I love her name.
Which one? Paige Van Zandt?
No,
Rose Namajunas?
Rose Namajunas.
Well, you know how I am with names. So that's our show. Adios, MMA aficionados. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Thanks, Eugene. We'll see you next time.
All right, man. Later. Bye.
See ya.